Hey YouTube, TK here again. In this video we've got a 998 engine stripped down, a 998 20 plus rebuild, not much of a glimpse into that though unfortunately, and then we get into a mini Moke for a tune. So, keep watching.
So now it's actually Thursday afternoon. You've missed the rest of the week because I've just been working on the humdrum stuff, just the usual stuff that we get in. But now it's time to get back into the minis. We'll start with this 998 here that I plucked out of the wee city up there on Friday. This is only just for some gaskets, seals, bits and pieces, a wee bit of a freshen up. I'll check the bores while I'm in there. I may look at doing a valve grind on the head, or I may even talk to the customer and get that one sent away and have it vacuum tested at least, just to make sure it's in good health. But yeah, I'll start with locking off the flywheel now, and actually what I'll start with is cleaning up this mess on my toolbox, and then I'll get to locking the flywheel up, get that off, get the end casing off, get the gearbox off, and then carry on with the rest. And you'll see the fan is on backwards. You'll see that by it says engine side here. Obviously one of those details that a lot of people miss, but yeah, should be a bit of fun to pull apart. If you're wondering what that is, that's just water that came out of my ultrasonic cleaner after it died the other day, so I'm just trying to work that one out at the same time. As you can see, it's not much cleaner in here. In fact, it's probably worse now. I've got a gearbox I'm just doing a pre-wash on before I start stripping that because it's full of sludge. Got a carburetor rebuild going on at the moment, waiting on a drill press for that. That's my tuning trolley, obviously that disaster. And then I've got the 998, which I'm now waiting on head studs for, from up the North Island. So, time to get into it. I'd say that there was the main reason I had some leaks coming from this one. It's steel that lives right in here between the engine and gearbox, right in there. It's just gone dry, brittle, and it's just shrunk down a wee bit. Ooh. At least it's smooth. It's not very nice though, is it? Not actually that bad in there. It's still nice and clean. I'll continue on that tomorrow. So luckily the ferries came in last night and did some cleaning. So it's still a wee bit of a still a wee bit of a mess, but a little bit more user friendly today. Still got that gearbox in there, trying to get rid of some of the baked on grease and oil in there. Had a bit of a hard life, this unit, so that's the original gearbox for this one here. I'll go through and rebuild that one, that's absolutely fine. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue stripping this one. That way I can order some bits in. So obviously it's going to get a new water pump, it's going to get a new timing chain, seals, blah blah blah. All the rest of that, but I need to make sure that the bores are okay, so I'll get the head off it. Yeah. Let's carry on. Don't worry about that one. It's waiting. Right, so obviously the cylinder head's off. I had to cut this is getting replaced anyway. But yeah, this one's well overdue for some attention. You can see all the carbon build up on these pistons here, and if I attempt to try and wind that over, the good news is, I suppose, it's still a wee bit of tension on everything. Unlike some engines that I've pulled apart in the past, and you've been able to turn them over with one hand, even with all the pistons in. Yeah, I want to get the customer in to talk about this one, because this one really needs a rebuild. This one's, yeah, as I said, a bit past it for just a quick freshen up. Bit of a shame, that's alright. I'll get in touch with the customer now. Alright, so I've spoken to the customer now. He's given me the go ahead just to completely strip it and send it off to the machine shop. So that's what I'll do. Probably the best thing for it. So now I've got the pistons and rods out. Just looking at the crank, it's actually in not too bad a shape. Obviously I haven't measured it, so that'll tell a different story. But it's actually quite clean, considering. So yeah, obviously all the other bits and pieces are over here. Push rod's in order. And the followers will be getting replaced. The cam will probably be getting a wee bit of a tickle up. Doesn't actually look that bad considering it's the original. It's all original. It's an A+ engine, so, but it's a 2-owner car. You can see the pistons aren't too terrible. They will get replaced. I mean, they've probably shrunk as well, but the bores have definitely gotten larger. So it'll be getting bored out, the next size out. But just for the sake of it, I just thought I'd just get a pre-measurement, just for the sake of it. So it's going to be a little bit hard doing this all one-handed, but I'm sorry if it's not actually focusing. But all considering, it's not getting a hell of a lot of movement compared to some of the others that I've pulled apart. So not a bad base to start from. Obviously it'll be a lot better when it's done. Now, time to carry on. So here we are, basically fully stripped apart from getting the studs out. I've just been going out and getting the frost plugs out. Obviously there's one behind here which isn't going to be the nicest of to do with that in the way, so naturally I'll unbolt it. When the engine was still in the car, took the wee drain bung out for the cooling system and nothing came out of there. So far I've already put a drill up there to see if it was only a small blockage, but after getting the frost plugs out, I'll see if I can get the torch in there. There is a whole lot of sediment in there that is dying to come out. So good thing we're doing this, because that'll go and get tanked. Let's see if I can just show you how bad it really is. That's just full of sand. Basically all falling onto the crane, onto the stand there. Set my torch up. See that big lump on top of the screwdriver. So that explains a lot as to why that was gunked up. So that'll go get cleaned out, and we'll go from there. I'll let the machinist know that that's ready to collect. I'll get the cylinder heads end away, and then after lunch I'll then get it back onto that 998 plus 20 thou. Get the cylinder head back on that, because I've now got some bits and pieces that have arrived for that, including some lovely ARP head studs. Funnily enough, with the frost plugs out of it, I just noticed that on the back side of it, someone's put, looks like sealant, RTV sealant on the back of them before putting them in. Yummy.
As you'll see from the 998, it needed a little bit more work than what we had initially expected. Obviously from excessive bore wear and piston wear, we would have had excessive blow-by there, so that would have exaggerated the engine oil leaks that it was originally booked in for. So yeah, it was originally booked in just to have a wee bit of a birthday and a wee bit of a freshen up, but there's no way of basically keeping a tight seal on an engine that's just trying to, you know, build up a whole lot of gas in the gearbox. There's only so much crankcase ventilation an engine can put up with before it decides it's going to make its own vents. So anyway, let's get back into it.
Alright, well, push that other one out of here for now. I'll get back onto this one. So I'll start with cleaning down the surface, make sure there's no oil or any residue on the top surface. I'll get the new ARP studs loaded in, head gasket, head, followers, push rods, valve train, get it all torqued down, and I'll start going through and just doing an initial setup of the tappets. So that'll be this afternoon's target at least. Actually, I'm hoping to get a little bit further with that. Hopefully I'll get the start stripping the gearbox down. Yeah, carry on with this. Right, well, that's the 998. I'm basically at that point with it now. Coming off alright. I'll get the paintbrush out later. I know that these are loose. These aren't actually fully torqued down yet, so I'll sort that out after it's back in the car. I'll use these here with the engine lifting bracket. In the meantime, I'm going to get onto the gearbox and get the diff out of there so I can start going through that side of it. Just thought I'd show you this really quickly before I start actually pulling it apart. Is this lovely amount of inflow. Pretty good sign that the thrust washer and that diff is going to be gone. This side's alright. So, diff's out. And nice. Yeah, you can, that plate is really nice. So that's the diff nearly completely stripped, obviously just that bearing to take off. There was one thrust washer there, no thrust washer here as I thought. But looking at this diff pin, it is stuffed. I've just had this rock in. Fantastic with Australian Moke. It's in for an oil leak coming from the head gasket. A couple of small other tidy up jobs. And then also a tune. Very tidy. Very well looked after. Loving the wheels. I'm looking forward to getting stuck into this. So here we go, the lovely Australian Moke. With the reconditioned carburetor on, I've done the throttle shaft bushes. Obviously a new shaft, new plain disc plate. Now you'll see that this one's not actually running a vacuum advance distributor. So we'll go through this one, see what it's going to need and see what we can do with it.
So I just wanted to add in here the Mini Moke needed a rebuilt carburetor due to a couple of reasons essentially. The adjuster screw was absolutely locked solid. And it was, the jet tube was quite a way down to start with, so we decided that the best course of action here was just to rebuild the carburetor. There was a couple of other factors there as well. The wax pallet in the bottom of the wax stack there was actually leaking. I hadn't seen that before. So yeah, it was actually as the carburetor was off the car, sitting on the bench, just a different angle. It was just dripping out onto the manifold. So it was a bit of an odd one. So amongst that and the throttle shafts and bushes naturally being worn like so many others, yeah, it was the best course of action so we could get the fueling bang on the money. So anyway, let's carry on.
Right, so I've gone through and replaced the coil. We had 4.7 ohms here, so it's gone to a Viper coil, which is 3 ohm. New leads, the cap and rotor were fine, so I'll leave those as they were. I've set the ignition timing, so now we'll get on to this front side of it. Right, so that side of it's all done now. An AAF needle that's been extensively modified to feed this beast. Brand new red spring, that's standard with a rebuilt carburetor anyway. So I'm happy with that. But now it's ready for a drive. So this here's Andy. He's the owner of the Moke. He's just been out for a spin in it. So what do you think?
I think it's really good. I couldn't go really high speed in it because I'm in town, but I went sort of low speed, put my foot down in top gear, and it just pulled away nicely. It ran up through the revs really well with a lot of horsepower. I think it's great. I think you've done a really good job.
Nice and smooth and no flat spots?
No, not at all.
Would you recommend it?
Yep, absolutely, first class.
Perfect.
Get the SU carburetor tuned by this man and you can't go wrong.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
I also just wanted to finally put in here the owner of the Moke, Andy. He's already booked in for a replacement distributor. I've just had some come in from England, and with a vacuum advanced unit, so we'll be able to get some more economy out of that Moke. He actually ended up coming back later on in the day to pick his Hilux up and mentioned to me on how well it actually went. He was very stoked. Even after a longer drive as well, he seemed pretty wrapped with it. So just like to say thanks for choosing us, Andy, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for the additional work that you've booked in. But other than that, that's it for this video. We'll see you all next time. Have a good one.